They come. But it's not my thousands anymore. It's God's thousands. And it's a pleasure to use it for His honor and glory. And to see the accomplishment of His mission here on earth. And so everything has turned around, and I have satisfaction. I have a joy looking forward to the new day. Do you look forward to Monday? There used to be a song by a group called the Mamas and the Papas singing, Monday, Monday. Some of you might not remember that. But most people hate Mondays. But when you have a passion, when you know you have a God-given passion, when you know you're on the right place doing what God wants you to do, you won't say, oh, Monday. And you want to pull the blanket right over your head again, only for the alarm to get you up again. So if you are in the wrong job, doing the wrong thing, not using the talents that God's given you, then that job is going to be something that you will detest. Most people use up only 30% of the talent that they have in their jobs. But it doesn't really make sense. You'll be bored by that job because it's not using the talents that God has put inside of you. A lot of people are stuck in the job that they hate, that they're not using up what's good that they have to use. They lose their zest for life. Why? They're not using their God-given talents. The first book of Corinthians chapter 7 says, each one should live his life with the gifts that the Lord has given him. God gave you gifts and abilities and talents to use. The reality is you're never ever going to find a job that uses 100% of your talents. You're never really going to find a job that is 100% fulfilling. Why? Because you're never meant to find 100% fulfillment through your job. Nobody is going to find 100% fulfillment in a job. Your life is more than just your job. God wants you to have a ministry. That's why you need a ministry in your church, to use the talents that you're not using at your job, because no job could possibly use all your talents. God has given you. So you need a job, but you also need a ministry, folks, that expresses what's good, what you're good at. That's why here at William Carey, we encourage everybody to find a ministry. Everybody should be involved, doing something. Let me say this, simply because I care about you. If you are in a job right now that's killing your passion, get out. Get out. This is South Africa. Nobody's holding a gun to your head. In a lot of countries, you don't have a choice because there's so few job opportunities. But you do have a choice in this nation. And it is not a good thing, it's not good stewardship that you be in a job where you are oppressed and suppressed. It makes no sense being in a place where you got nothing coming out of it for you, and you just wait for your money at the end of the month, but you just hate the job. I say to you, get out of it. Maybe you can't get out of it overnight, but start sending your CVs out all over the place and get out of that job. You see, God wants you to use your abilities. God wants you to use your talents. God wants you to put what He's put into you into the job. And it's important for us all to have a passion in whatever we do. Deploy the talents that God has given us. The second reason I would think and believe to be a passion killer is unresolved conflicts. You see, conflicts drain the passion right out of you. You know what I'm talking about? Do you ever start a day, and it's going to be a great day, you know it, and you fly out of bed with real strength and joy, and from the moment you wake up, you're ready to take the world by storm, and on your way out to the door, you have a fight with your husband or your wife, or your brother or sister, and all the zip goes out of you. It's like the air going out of a tire. That's what conflict does to us. It takes the passion out of your lives. Your attitude all of a sudden just goes like a flat tire. Let's be honest about this. Some of you, you're in situations at home or at work where the conflict is constant all the time. Maybe you're even doing all that you can to minimize the conflict, but it's coming from the other person. How do you keep your passion in a situation like that? You decide to protect yourself from the three passion-killing emotions that can come into your lives in a conflict. You cannot control the other person's passion, but you can control the kind of passion you have in the midst of this conflict. The three emotions that kill your passion in the midst of the conflict are resentment, jealousy, and prolonged anger. These three, Job talks about. You heard of Job? Some people call him Job, but it's really Job. In the book of Job, chapter 5 and verse 2, Job says, resentment destroys the fool, and jealousy kills the simple. Have you seen that? Resentment destroys the fool, and jealousy kills the simple. Subtle resentment and subtle jealousy. These are passion-killing emotions. Job 18:4 says, you are only hurting yourself with your anger. You are only hurting yourself with your anger, subtle anger. It only hurts you. You make the decision when it comes to resentment and jealousy and prolonged anger to let it go. This is why forgiveness is so important. God who knows us, who made us, who created us, knows that we can't carry resentment. Don't carry it regardless of who sent it to you, who gave it to you. And so God says, here's a way to let it go. Even logically, we know that the resentment that we have in our lives, it's not hurting the other person we are resentful against. They don't even know about our resentfulness. It hurts us. The anger is hurting us. If you want passion to be restored in your heart today, you have to forgive. Just have to let all the resentment go. Or else you're just losing it for yourself. I know some of you are thinking, you're letting them off the hook. How can I do that? I'm not telling you to let them off the hook. I'm telling you this morning to put them on God's hook. let them off the hook. Just put them in God's hands. Just say, God, I can't handle this. You can. I forgive them and I leave them to you. If you don't, then that unforgiveness is going to kill the passion in your life. If you do, then the resentment that you have for that person, that resentment that is controlling your passion, their life, it's going to just destroy you. And you do not want that to really control you. So you forgive and just let it go. That's how you resolve the conflict in your heart. We have this in our home, we have that in our families, we have that in our communities, we have it at work. People treat us badly and we don't want to verbalize it, and so we have a resentment in our hearts. We just say, I'll mark them. I'll mark them. I won't talk to them and I won't be nice to them. And so we harbor these resentments in our hearts. And folks, it's just not good to harbor resentment. It just destroys you, and then you can't work. The passion that you had for your job, you will lose. Rather, resolve the resentments. There's a third cause for the loss of passion, and I call it the unsupported lifestyle. Sometimes you lose your passion because you're not spending time around people who have a passion for God. It's amazing. I've seen this here in this place all the time. People that come here without a passion for God, they would never be friendly with people who have a passion for God. They would always be very friendly with people who have no passion. It's amazing. I watch this. You think they're coming to William Carey and they want to find something, they want to get something, they want to get on fire for God, but when they come here, they got no passion. You would think that they will look up and find someone I can get close to so that I can connect and get the passion from them. But they'll find somebody less than them that will pull them down. They'll find a smoker so they can also go out in the bush and smoke. They'll find a drinker or drunkard that can jump over the fence. They wouldn't find someone who can stand with them and pray for them. Have you seen that? All the time you notice that. You will think that they will look for someone that can help them. Even among students. You think a weak student will find a strong one to lift them up, but they don't. They will find someone even weaker. It's like a bird of a feather will flock together. I would think it should be the opposite. I would want to find someone stronger than me because I want to draw from that person. I want to get something from that person. All my friends were much older than me. They were old men. They were uncles. I never had friends my age when I was young. They always were uncles. And I would be with them. I would learn from them. I would go out with them. I would talk to them. Because I learned that I could get something from them. But we don't see that today. Look at Ecclesiastes 4 and verses 9 and 10. Just common sense from the Bible. Two are better than one. Because if one falls down, his friend can help him up. But pity the man who falls and has no one to help him up. You see, folks, we need one another. We need one another. We all fall sometimes. We all stumble at times. So we all need people to help us up in our lives. And so we need to find strong people. Can you imagine A fellow that can't walk, finding someone else who can't walk. So both of them will fall down. You need to find somebody strong, somebody that can pick you up. Now this is not only for difficult times, it's also for good times. Human beings were made for relationships. We're made to live that way. In a prison, when they want to give you something, really punish you, the ultimate punishment is solitary confinement. Solitary confinement is the ultimate punishment. Why? We love people. We love relationships. We love to be together. You need relationships with others. Others who are trying to live with passion for God in their lives, to keep that passion for God real in their lives. Having been around quite a bit, I've seen lots and lots of people continue with their passion for God, and a lot of people will lose their passion for God. Those that lose their passion for God, there's a predictable pattern to it. You can see it the same way almost all of the time. I'll tell you where the passion begins. The first thing that happens is the person stops coming to church. And they find fault with the pastor, and they find fault with the leaders, and they find fault with the people, and they find fault with everything, simply because they lost their passion for God. And when they lose their passion, they find a lot of mistakes with everybody. But you know, when you have a passion for the Lord, you don't see people's faults anymore. You don't see people's failings anymore, because you're passionate with God. And it doesn't matter about the people. It doesn't matter which church you go to. You don't say this church is hot and that one is cold and this one is powerful and that one is not powerful, because you are passionate about God. People don't make a church. The pastor does not make the church. It's you. And if you are not passionate, every church is not good for you. Something will be wrong in every church. Every church will be cold for you because you are ice cold yourself. And so because you are ice cold, you will find faults with everybody and everything else. And so the first thing that I notice is people stop going to church. Just because they lost their passion. When you're passionate about church, about the Lord, you get your clothes ready on a Saturday night. You make sure that everything is right. But if you're not passionate, last moment, looking in the wall, what am I going to wear today? But you got a wedding 6 months in advance, you're already thinking what you're going to wear. And you're preparing for that. You're passionate about a wedding. But you're not passionate about God. Good test, isn't it? Are you passionate about the Lord? The next thing that always happens is your heart starts to get cold. You start being far from God. You start to feel like God is far from you. What you really need to be and do is to get around people who can warm you up with the love from God. It's a need in all of us to be around other people, to have this passion for God. If you have no inspiring contact with other believers, your heart will soon grow cold. It's inevitable. Take a coal out of the fire and separate it from the fire, it will get cold. It will get totally cold. But take it and put it back with the fire, it gets the glow back again. So it's important that we understand that. And that is why the writer of the book of Hebrews, chapter 10 and verses 24 and 25, it says, let us consider how we may spur one another towards love and good deeds. Let's not give up meeting together, and let us encourage one another. Why? Because it's so easy to lose our passion. It's so easy to get cold. And therefore, we need to encourage one another, lift one another, help one another, spread the heat with one another, spread the passion to one another. It's so important.